Hey, y'all, come on in. It's great to see you.
We are off to Tokyo today to celebrate Valentine's Day with Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
Put on Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Valentine's Day.
We are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, y'all, come on in. Thank you for finding our little barbershop. If you happen to be here during one of the live premieres, why, come on in the live chat on YouTube and meet the Whiff Pack, an awesome group of friends hanging out from all over the world, and they'd love to meet you too.
They would. And for our mention today, this week at Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, they have Denied Foil 50, which is their homage to Tom Ford's ombre leather.
Yeah, y'all, this is their Valentine's Day release where leather meets raspberry. For me, a beautiful homage and one that sits right in the pocket, not too weak, not too strong in intensity. What do you think of this one?
I actually really enjoy this one for more of like an all-day scent. Some of the other homages are a little darker, more nighttime to me. This is an afternoon, get the day started scent.
It is. Y'all, I love the nuances in the homages from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. And what is our soap today?
Our soap today, we finally get to open Tokyo Rose.
Y'all, this was one we were told about from the very beginning, and we have the Purge to thank for forcing our hand. Let's meet the soap. So yeah, y'all, those of you who are fans of Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements know that after Christmas, generally all of the seasonals from September through Christmas go away to make room for all of the new ones a-comin'. But this year, there were 6 or 7 perennials that were also retired and done so with about a week and a half's notice. What's cool about that is generally when we want to grab the seasonals and the one and done so we can make sure we cover them, sometimes we ignore the perennials a little, and this made sure that we got to look at Speakeasy, we got to look at Tribute, and today we get to look at Tokyo Rose.
And the person who enabled us the most is here today to introduce it. So please welcome into the barbershop, Crystal with a K.
Hi guys, Crystal here. Today I have the privilege of introducing today's soap. None other than Tokyo Rose from Phoenix Shaving. I enjoy this fragrance. It's not only rose forward, but it's also unisex. I enjoy it so much that I have the soap, the splash, the EDP, and the solid cologne. Now, will it make a return?
Thank you, Crystal, and thank you for enabling this one. We are so excited. And from the sales page at Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, come sit down next to the campfire as old Doug here shares with you a tale of righteousness and woe. How's that for drama?
Okay, maybe that was a little too much, but what I will say is Tokyo Rose is a Phoenix Shaving classic and originally the official scent for the Big Shave West 3. It was so popular that day that it sold out within the first 2 hours of the event. That didn't go over too well at the time, but we swore to make up for it with a public release.
This scent was inspired by Pasadena, original home of the first 3 Big Shave events. Roses in homage to the Rose Bowl, and cherry in tribute to the Pasadena Cherry Blossom Festival, which happens during the same time as our event each year. So through these 2 celebrations, the scent created itself, with a little help from me. It's always magical when an accord comes together so effortlessly. All right, you want to give away a few scent notes?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
As you may have noticed above, Tokyo Rose is much more than those 2 harmonious notes, however. Ambergris, sandalwood, oud, amorous, and cardamom. Those supporting notes play a huge collective part in the success of this fragrance, both spicy and masculine, with a subtle undertone of sensual playfulness and an almost cherry Coke-type heart note. Sounds amazing, right?
Yeah! I said it then, I'll say it again. Tokyo Rose is truly an American classic as denim and white cotton t-shirts any day. A melting pot, a marriage of notes like nothing else before or since, and a must-have for every shave den across the land.
Wow, I'm glad we got this one, and it's based in California!
I know, we don't actually have to cross the land. Let's open the box!
Is a big box.
We bought a big box during the purge. Also, you did not see thought forms, and you didn't see the battle. You really didn't see cabin fruit because it doesn't exist, but you did see Tokyo Rose.
Wow, look at how pretty, lady.
We have learned to start looking more carefully at these labels.
These are like shadows of flowers, and then she's got a rose.
Right, for
on
her voice
thing.
box. Like, kind of like Paul McCartney on the Wings album.
There's a cube, there's a saucer. There are all the important Phoenix things in this label.
There's no fish, though.
No.
And y'all, this is what the splash looks like. Some perfect friends. All right, y'all, we can see the Golden Gate Bridge from here. So we've got Baymax, and it's time for our San Francisco first impression. So let's have a grown-up conversation. At the very beginning of our journey, there were a few set notes that she and I had to both overcome. One of them was grapefruit for me, because at first I did not like the scent of grapefruit at all, but as soon as I opened Vincent by Gentleman's Nod at the beginning of this journey, I went, oh, now I understand what perfumers are doing with grapefruit. And for you, it was rose. How are you doing with that?
No, same thing. I think my version of rose in mind, nothing matched the plants in front of my mom's house. Like, right. I wanted the real rose. And then when I jumped into the shave world, I was still a little apprehensive about rose. And then the more that we'd read scent notes and near the end there'd be some roses, we got a little braver and we tried some more rose forward one. And same thing. There are a lot of different types of scents of rose, and there's a whole different lane of how the roses are even used.
Right.
So this is going to be a fun adventure.
For me, it was my elementary school that set up on a Saturday before Christmas Santa's Secret Shop, where it was all this stuff designed for kids to buy for their family that only cost like 25 or 50 cents. Some of it had been donated and some of it was designed to be kind of cheaper in the outset, but the idea was that the kids could actually buy things with their little pocket money that they could surprise their parents with. And the one I got my mom was a little jewelry box that when you opened it had a really beautiful sense of rose. It wasn't like an actual rose. It was more like, oh, I could see where that would be rose, but it's way like sweeter. It's way like more of a syrupy sense. But that was the beginning of my journey in rose. And I loved it when I got here in the shaving soap world too, that it smelled like my grandmother's roses outside of her house rather than like that jewelry box did.
Right.
So I think you're right. I think it's the quality of perfumer's oil. And in this one, I bet you they're pretty good.
I am curious because this Tokyo portion might be more the cherry blossom side or something else.
That's what I'm excited about, to see where the Tokyo part plays into the rose. And all right, take it in. I will ask you some questions. I want to watch your face.
Okay. It's tight. Okay, hold on. Oh, boy. That was a long whiff, and it wasn't long enough.
Is it what you expected?
It is I think the final cure for like the rose. If I had any question, this helped fix it.
Hey, y'all, it's happened. What do you get?
It's for sure rose. I mean, it's in there. But again, it's the real side. Like kind of even Alphine, when we first smelled that one, like, oh, this is a whole different side of a rose. This is this color of a rose I'm getting. Much more of that actual red rose, which is fun for Valentine's Day. But there's something that makes it a little bit more charming. So I think that is more the cherry blossom or something else. All the stuff that are kind of swirling around, that it adds a little creamier, a little more charming, comforting side to the rose.
Right.
Sometimes rose can be like too adult, if that could make sense. I don't want to say grandma side, but there is something in it that's kind of like a potpourri-ish sometimes. This does not have anything like that. This is real. Like I could be standing next to the floats at the parade. Like there's something, I always wonder what that would smell like. Maybe one day we'll go, but we watch it all the time. So there's something vibrant in those colors, but there's something still here that's a little more calm. Like even just thinking of Tokyo, like their culture is much more taking your time to pause. And that's happening here.
Nice.
It's interesting. There's a side to this that almost could have a like classic aftershave-y kind of drier, not powder, not talc, but something in that like, I just keep seeing clean white. So there's something in there that's happening. It's not like a solstice dry rock kind of a sagey thing, but it's approaching something almost in that lane, a little sweeter, but something that's making this not too feminine, not too masculine. Like it's right down the middle for me.
With rose? How's he doing that?
I am not sure.
How prominent is the rose and how prominent are the other things?
I think the rose is more half this scent.
Okay.
But it only works because of all the other things that are in here. Like that balance keeps kind of like, almost like bounces back and forth somehow.
Now, the one thing I was most curious about with this scent, how in the world do you balance out rose? It is a strong singer. What do you sense? How's that having the edges taken off?
It's funny because I think normally for Rose, it can be pretty bossy.
Yeah.
Here, it's not. It's actually more a subdued version, but it's the most welcoming, like crowd-pleasing version of a Rose I think we've had. It's in here, but it is. The edges are rounded out, and I'm not sure if it's more like there's a light woodsy thing happening. The cherry blossom, we haven't had many wet that, so I'm not sure if that's exactly what I'm getting. There's something that could also be like a lighter citrus. There's something that's more welcoming, like bringing you in. And then the rose just kind of gives you a nice hug.
Nice.
And you're comfortable there.
Is it reminiscent of the nice soft cherry that we just experienced in Tribute?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think the other half to me is less cherry and more the blossom. There's something in there, but it's a gentle blossom. It's not, you're not getting like it is a floral soap, but I'm not getting overwhelmed by the florals. So there's other things in here that are helping balance out where it could be too much on the floral side. There's something creamy. I think it's sandalwoody, something in there that's helping balance that I'm almost getting. It's not a barbershop, but it could be a little hint at a classic aftershave, something in the middle that could help that.
You can't just drop the B word around here like that and run away. Hold on. No, I gotta try this. Wait a minute. Wait, a Rosy Tokyo barbershop right behind in this?
See what that third part that's in there. But there's a magic thing. I know I read the scent notes earlier, but I tried to erase them real quick. So it's one of those, I'm sure.
I'm excited about this because I
think
like rose scents. So, woo, Calgon, take me away. All right, here we go.
Maybe? See?
Well, that wasn't what I was expecting at all. At all. Which says the most. Because we all know roses. Hold on. Stop the parade.
Stop the parade.
Hold on.
That was the worst thing when I did the parade. Then they'd stop.
Okay, hold on. There is the bright floral side of the rose, and there is the dry heart of the rose. And I feel like all the unnecessary stuff in between has been taken out, and you're just getting the very beginning and then the very end of a deep, natural rose whiff, which takes most of the sweet edges out of it and lets you explore that character. And a creamy sense to this. It does not go to like an 8 or a 9 on the sweet scale. 7. Beautiful. And the sweet's being built from 2 very different directions, and that's why it's cherry blossom.
Yeah.
Whoa, hold on. Oh. And then that center of the rose that has been taken out so that you get the beginning and the heart of the scent is being gently replaced with the heart of the cherry blossom. So you know how the beginning of the cherry blossom is generally that sweet whiff that you get? Mm-hmm. That's not here. It lets you start the cherry blossom whiff in the middle when you're just diving down into the powdered, sugary, almost lemony heart of that cherry blossom. Whoa. So it's like the rose has been turned inside out. There's a cherry blossom inside, and there's still some wood from the tree in the background that almost hints at like a bamboo. Are you kidding me? Mm-hmm. Y'all. I see. I got it. And then I'm done. You know why? Look at my face. You know how in the middle of CAD, or if anybody completely unrelated has ever smelled Barbasol, which is not same by any stretch of the imagination, that rose powder sense in the center of CAD and in the center of Barbasol that makes your mouth kind of water and makes you want to go, even though it is the farthest thing from a gourmand, that fabulous dry sense is also in here, but I didn't get it till now. You need 3 or 4 long whiffs because the congenial, the clever, the sweet part is there to shake your hand. But as this wears down, you're given that beautiful, dapper, dry sense of whatever Barbasol did to Rose 50 years ago when lightning struck the clock tower. Y'all, what a fabulous formula this is. Oh,
that's what I think I meant by the almost barbershop, almost classic, aftershave-y, something in there. I think that's what you're getting.
This is absolutely a friendlier, more congenial scent. And like Douglas said at the beginning of the sales page, inviting you to come sit by my fire and share a story or two. That's in here too. And y'all, before we make any more proclamations, why don't we see if there are any secrets hiding in the lather when we build it? Where did you get this beautiful bowl from?
This is my Haley's Artisan Bowl. I went for purple for a little Valentine's fun, and we know that the Amadors are fans of those too.
Love this thing.
And then my Star Wisp, because I had to bust this out for some more Valentine's fun colors.
May I wet your soap?
Yes, please.
All right. And how do you build your lather here on the Barbershop Duet?
So we did our vertical bloom. The water is waiting at the bottom. And then we've got our dry brush going in, trying to soak up some of that soap. We go one way, and then we reverse it and go the other way.
It's not a total dry brush method because we are getting some of that water that we sprayed onto the soap.
And then we rotate our brush 25%. Do that same thing again. One way, other way, soaking it all up. And once you feel like you got most of the soap in there, then you go on down and grab some of that water. Ooh. And then the magic really begins.
It's all in the wrist. What's that you say? Oh, this is our Star Wisp brush from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, one of our favorites. And I did ask Mr. Smythe not long ago which one of the brushes has the most formidable backbone. He suggests the Amber Light.
It is fun to get the different brushes that they have at Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements because they really do. Some have that more of the spread to them, some have more of the backbone. There are quite a variety.
And I thought it was just the handles that he was homaging. No, it's the knots too. I think we have over half of them.
I think so. We'll have to keep going.
I'm getting stuff over here, but it's not entirely rose. It's the whole balance. This is beautiful.
Right? I feel like the color of the label fits this scent perfectly. That red, almost purpley, purple, pink.
And you know what's funny? I don't know if I would say this is like totally rose forward. I think it's a total vibe. I think it's a balance. Mm-hmm. And y'all, to subdue rose, the Pavarotti of scent notes, are you kidding me? It does not use a microphone. You got to have a rather strong ensemble. Mm-hmm. But this is doing that job beautifully. And like a good ensemble without calling too much attention to itself. It lets the rose be the star. It's funny, Gypsy just reopened on Broadway. And y'all, this is something you only find here in the Barbershop Duet. This is the Rose by Any Other Name whiff. On 3, 1, 2. Nice. Oh. Mm-hmm. Oh, a little drier?
Yeah, like a drier rose.
In its balance here. This is lovely.
It got a little more depth to it and width somehow.
And y'all, when we do watch that one show on YouTube with Angela, what's it called? Oh yeah, the Shave Arcade. We love to see how the lather coats his face, and we don't do shaving here on the Barbershop Duet, but we will show you what it looks like when this amazing vegan formula hits your moneymaker. Yeah, one of the most comforting feelings in the world. And y'all, the time has come. Can we please look at these set notes? All right, y'all, back to the sales page at Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. Here are your scent notes.
Rose, which we expect.
Got it.
And it does say cherry, not cherry blossom.
Now, the fruit or the flower, what do you get?
I think I get more the flower.
Yeah.
Because if it's the cherry that's in tribute or something else, I'm not really getting that. I think it's the flower.
It's the flower. And then a vegan ambergris. Y'all beautiful. I love that. Ambergris is.
And then this, I think, is how it gets a little more creamy. The sandalwood into the oud. Amyris and cardamom.
I should have known there would have been oud. Y'all, the way that backs up against the rose is absolutely magical. Amyris and cardamom to keep it a little bit gray and spicy. Yeah. There is a barbershop hiding in this somewhere.
There almost, it comes off as like a pepper somehow. Like there's something.
There's an effervescence to
Right.
it.
There's like that fine perfumery side of it somehow, and that's definitely part of it.
Morning or evening scent?
That's funny. I was going back and forth when I smelled this on my face. Like at first I thought it was going to be morning because it was kind of more of a blossom. But I feel like it could last all day.
That's me. This is a nighttime scent for me, y'all. So if we have an 8:30 curtain, this is what I'm wearing.
But that could change as soon as you smell the splash. Sometimes that just mixes everything up.
I just smell the shadow. And I can feel how some of the scent notes are hiding in those shadows. Just beautifully done. And I think it's time to make a splash. You want to take this a little bit deeper? This is the aftershave. Y'all, these are the new glass restrictors, and these are the little plugs that you got to take out. They do not go back in. You just dig your nail under. Sometimes I have trouble with these. And then... that's the magic sound. All right, here we go.
Sharing the goods here.
For you. All right,
you might bless the dog. We'll see what happens.
And on to the moneymakers. All right, chin chin.
Oh.
You know, might be on the same family tree as Alphine. It is that beguiling, y'all.
I can see why it sold out at the meetup. Let's just say that.
And you are absolutely right about this being in the same family as some of the classic aftershaves that we love the best. I don't think this is a vibe of a place. I think it's almost Douglas's recreation of an elevated aftershave from the 40s or 50s. And y'all, this is simply magical.
And you know, those two scent notes, I'm surprised no one has ever put together. The way he was explaining it, like they just kind of found each other. And they really work. They almost blend into each other. It's how that magic happens.
Well, one of them is such a presentation flower. I mean, roses. Hardly an opening night has gone by, right?
Right.
But you don't give somebody cherry blossoms. You fly somewhere to experience them. Washington, D.C., Tokyo. So I think that's what's cool about this. It's taking two flowers that, as you said, don't go together because they literally have never been next to each other in our experience, and giving us a sense of what those two florals are like when they use each other to intertwine those scent notes. And florals can smell like anything. Not far from Pasadena, a corpse flower opened a week ago.
I feel like in the dry down here, it does have more of the evening, the deeper side. I'm getting more of the ambergris, the ooze.
Right.
There's just that deeper layer. The cardamom's here. But I think on me, it shows off a much more feminine side. And I think on you, those deeper sides are going to be much more of a thing.
And I love that this has a bit of that Asian spice to it that doesn't crawl up your nose, that isn't too prominent, that isn't too bossy, but just has a beautiful, creamy, sweet note to the woodiness. Whew, I am going to love wearing this. This is the kind of thing that I want on my shoulder all day. There is nothing pokey about this that's going to wear over time.
And it's interesting because before, that's what kind of scared me about the rose. It could just get too potent, too overwhelming, like my head was in the rose bush. But this is very different.
I don't even know if I would say this was a totally rose-centered soap. Like if I smelled this off the puck, I wouldn't necessarily go, boom, it's rose with stuff.
Right.
No, I think it's way more of a character, with rose being prominent, but not necessarily the one that's going to run out and meet you at the bus.
Yes, it's there throughout the whole whiff for me, but it really intertwines and tangles in a whole new way that it almost is unidentifiable at certain points.
And do you believe me that the very middle of the rose that gets the sweetest, that's the perfumer part that gets syrupy sweet, is the part that's not in here. It's just the very beginning of that dry rose whiff, almost like a clean laundry musk, and then the very heart of the rose, almost a dry sense to it.
But I think that's where the cherry jumps in.
Right.
So I don't know if it's just the cherry blossom or the actual cherry, but I could see how that kind of tames down that kind of rose forward in your face sometimes how it can get.
Wow. And y'all, at the very end, the heart of this is that same dry, floral, rose, slightly barbershop-y sense that's in the middle of CAD. And y'all, what a beautiful flanker for me. I absolutely adore this.
It's funny. It's almost where Solstice and CAD and the classic aftershaves, like this really could almost be in multiple categories.
Meet rose and meet floral. I know, the mysteries and wonders in this world. So it's pretty simple, y'all. Just be my 80-year-old Uncle Vernon complaining he can't remember things anymore. He's trying to tell you about that movie he saw last week. You're going to say, what movie? He's going to say, you know, that flower that has a stem on it. And you say, well, they all have stems. It has thorns. It comes in like red, white, yellow, smells really good. You know, what's the name of that flower? Oh, you mean a rose? And he went, yeah, Rose. Hey, Rose, what's the name of that movie we saw last week? And I got my own. So head over to their website at phoenixartisanaccoutrements.com. Or even better, do it by way of the link in the description. It's an affiliate link, which lets them know that we sent you, and it gives us back a small percentage of the sale, which we'll probably spend on soap so we can make more episodes. It's at no cost to you, and we would be grateful. Well, I've had my shave, y'all, with Tokyo Rose, a beautiful, powerful, masculine, potent rose, and yet, when I smelled it right next to Alphine a minute ago, so very different. And the rose may not even be as prominent because of all of those spices in the nooks and crannies swirling around it. This is a beautiful creation, and I am so happy to have this rose on my lapel. Thank you, Douglas and Fran, for this. Welcome to a very apropos messages.
Yes. So for our February giveaway, we wanted to give you a chance to get a $20 gift card to Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements.
Yeah, y'all, and all you have to do to be eligible for this giveaway is send us an email here to WeSetYou@theBarbershopDuet.com so that we can get back to you. It's the only way we communicate about our giveaways. And then check back here on our first March episode to see if you are our lucky winner.
Best of luck.
While it's not my grandmother's rose bushes, I feel like this could pretty much cure rose for just about anybody.
Yeah, even just how we were saying it could fit in so many lanes, right. I think depending what your nose is wanting to find, like if it didn't say rose on the label, I think you might find everything around it first, and then that would bring you to the rose. Like, it's just done in such a fun way. Right. The rose has its own personality all through this.
And it's friendly, and it has a sense of humor. And it's beautiful, much like the cherry blossoms or the rose on your lapel.
It's fun, though, because this might be one of our only other few that's actually a California-centered soap, too.
Hey, that's true. We got to keep those in a special place in the cabinet. Right? They're domestic.
When we watch the parade this year, we can bust this out and smell this.
We never miss it unless we have live episodes like we did this year. Yeah. We had to yell at the Peacock people because they wouldn't replay it. Well, I guess that's an occupational hazard.
That is. Thank you so much, Crystal, for joining us today and helping enable us. We understand why we needed this in the den now, and it worked perfectly for Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell better just watching this.